And the geopolitical stalemate between U.S. and North Korea remains stronger than ever since the second meet between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un in Hanoi ended without any conclusion. The U.S.'s closeness with South Korea has been a long-standing thaw in the U.S.-North Korea relations. Now, the U.S. has made another effort to get some headway in perhaps restarting dialogue with North Korea. The U.S. has announced that it will postpone its upcoming military drills with South Korea. The drills, known as Combined Flying Training Event, would have included multiple simulated air combat scenarios and an undisclosed number of warplanes from both the nations. North Korea has long objected to the joint exercise and made this a sticking point in carrying out talks with the U.S. Earlier this month, a North Korean diplomat had blamed the U.S. joint aerial drill for quote-unquote throwing cold water over talks with Washington. U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper has, however, denied that the decision to postpone the drill was a concession to North Korea, rather a gesture of good faith.
I don't see this as a concession. I see this as a good faith effort by the United States and the Republic of Korea to enable peace, to shape the terrain, if you will, to facilitate a political agreement, a deal, if you will, that leads to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. And that's part of what we do. As I said previously, my job is not only to bolster diplomacy, but my job is also to enable and to empower it. In this case, I think creating some more space for our diplomats to strike an agreement on the denuclearization of the peninsula is very important.
Back home, U.S. President Donald Trump has also been repeatedly accused by critics of being too willing to grant concessions to Pyongyang. Recent missile tests by North Korea have once again put the issue of denuclearization. The step by the U.S. could just be the start of fresh talks between the two nations. Meanwhile, in a tweet, U.S. President Donald Trump told North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to act quickly to reach a deal with the U.S., hinting further at denuclearization. This is what he had said in that context. Former U.S. Vice President and 2020 Democrat frontrunner Joe Biden was defended on Twitter from someone who clearly cannot be called a fan by any stretch of the imagination. Trump himself. Trump took to Twitter to respond to North Korea, calling the Democratic candidate a quote-unquote rabid dog who must be beaten to death with a stick. President Trump addressed Kim Jong-un on Twitter, saying that the Democrat Joe Biden is not a rabid dog, as recently dubbed by state media in Pyongyang. Trump urged North Korea to act quickly to sign a nuclear deal with the U.S. Pyongyang last week had said Biden, former vice president, that he must be beaten to death with a stick before it is too late. In the tweet, Trump said, and I quote here, "Joe Biden may be sleepy and very slow, but he's not a rabid dog." Unquote. Trump concludes, "See you soon." Now, there are currently no announced plans for a meeting between the two leaders, who have met 3 times since June 2018. Trump's tweet came hours after North Korea ruled out any denuclearization talks with the U.S. unless Washington lifts what were termed as hostile policies against the regime, according to the state-run Korean Central News Agency.